All right, all right. Welcome everyone to the PGA Show for 2023. This is a webinar for the inventor area of the PGA Show, the Inventor Spotlight. We're going to go through our pitch panels and just some information on how to sign up for the panels. But including the panels, we have a lot of presentations, a lot of education that United Inventors Association works through. We've been going to the PGA Show for a number of years now, and this is the first time they've given us a stage, an area to do educational events and pitch panels and things like that. I think it's going to be pretty fun. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I as we continue to explore and increase our brand, you see that it's really becoming a popular site. Like in the National Hardware Show, for example, it's become the number one go-to spot for inventors to learn about how do you launch a product, how do you license a product. We've even taken it to another level now of live pitching. So with Reed handling all of this and PGA being a big part of that show experience, they see the benefit, and they've given us the opportunity to do this again now with the PGA. So I'm pretty excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We're actually getting some questions in that will. We had some questions come in already. We will answer those questions in a few minutes. We'll walk through that. But yeah, it is. And anyone that's been to some of the shows knows, what we do at the UIA and the. I want to say the professionalism through the stuff that Chris does for the UA education events. As I said earlier, Chris is one of the professional pitch men that's out there. He does so much other things, not only for the UAA, but for his own business out there. He is we call him the king of manufacturing. He does a lot of different products, mostly US-based products, but he has been on Shark Tank. He's a Shark Tank winner. He has a product that he had on Shark Tank, got a deal with Damon and Lori, right, Chris? Or just
yeah. No, it's correct. Yep.
So why don't we open up that way, Chris? Let's talk a little bit about pitching. We're going to spend a few minutes talking about pitching, and then we're going to go into showing you guys how to register for the panels. Do that. So, Chris, why don't you just give some top info, and I can jump into about pitching and how long we're going to give the panelists and things like that. What you're looking at when they come up to that stage.
Yeah, typically, everyone talks about an elevator pitch, right? This is a little bit different. Elevator pitches are important, right? You need to know what you're talking about. And again, if you run into somebody at these shows, you never know who you're going to run into, right? I mean, I run into people at these big shows where you gotta get your information out as fast as possible. So during our pitch panels, depending on which level you're at, but typically we like to do like 5 minutes in all, right? So you really want to have a good pitch down to a couple minutes, and then leave some room for questions and answers, because there's going to be a lot of questions from the panels. And I always like to say, make your pitch really talk about what your product does. Is it solving a problem? What benefits does it have? Don't get into the whole story of how you developed it, how you came about. I can't tell you how many people want to talk about the story, which leads and just goes on and on and on. And you lose your audience when you do that. So keep it focused to your product, what benefit the consumer will have, what the end user will see. Really keep it short, but keep it on point. Talk about the product, talk about the benefits of it, the problem it's solving, and then really, make it fun, make it energetic. I think about us being on Shark Tank. We did it during the COVID time frame. We wanted to make it fun. So Judy, we have a baby product, and Judy went in as a queen of potty training. I went in as a king of manufacturing, and we dressed up accordingly. So it was like, so you walk out, we don't take it too serious, right? We walked out as being king and queen, and then we got into the business segment of it, and it went over very well. It went over so well that they handpicked us to close season 12. So think about that. So in 12 years of Shark Tank, they only picked 12 closers, and we were one of them. So make it fun, make it energetic, make it so that your panel is attracted to your product, and then you want to be able to, you as the person, you want to show how important it is and really what you've done to solve a problem and all the benefits of it, and keep it interactive. I think that's what I always find when it's interactive, and you can take some questions from some of the panels and give feedback. Talk about your packaging, why it's so important. Talk about your pricing, right? Because you want to have good map pricing, so you want to keep it consistent and really keep it simple. I like to say always keep it simple. Don't complicate it too much. Make it really easy to follow along, and I think you'll have a home run.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's Chris and I here. I mean, I don't want to even exaggerate that hundreds of pitches a year, and the quick, concise, informative pitches really catch our eye. Being prepared is very important. So, Chris, real quick, we're getting some questions in. How much time will our inventors or product developers have to pitch the pros?
Yeah, about 5 minutes. I think that at the PGA it'll be about 5 minutes. So you'll get that's all in. That's questions and answers. So I like to say keep it within your pitch. Keep it within 2 to 3 minutes, and leave a couple minutes for questioning, because literally at 5 minutes it gets cut off. So make sure you get all your benefits out, get all your pitching out. Make sure the panel understands what you're pitching, what your product is, problem solved, and then leave some room for questions.
Okay, very good. And I want you listeners to know that that 5 minutes, it goes fast. The presentations will be at the UIA stage in the Inventor Spotlight area, and you will pitch to the pros. The pros will be on the stage, and you will be in front of the stage. You will pitch to them directly. The crowd or audience will be behind you. It's nice to interact with the crowd also. You might want to turn around and show people things in that sense. But as Chris mentioned, quick, concise. You think that they should hand samples out to the pros if they can, Chris, or set?
I was going to say you
that?
should have like a nice professional display showing your products, and have some. I would even recommend passing them out before you start your presentation, so that they can get a feel for it, look at it while you're talking, and get an understanding of the product. And I think certainly having a nice display. I mean, you get one chance, right? You get one chance. You never know who's watching. You never know who's listening. I can tell you this from last year. We had some Home Depot folks on our panels, and 2 people literally got a deal on the spot. They went up to them after the presentation and actually started to work on getting them into a retail store of Home Depot. So you just don't know. And in one panel that you may pitch on, there may be a buyer for Lowe's or Walmart somewhere else that they heard about it, then they come and see you later. So we'll have an area where you can ask questions. Again, just keep it. Know your numbers, understand who you're selling to, understand, what your costs are against your pricing and how your wholesale pricing works. Make sure all that is really understood, so you look really informed when you're in front of panels.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Chris. And I've been in front of numerous investors and product developers pitching products of my own, and there sometimes comes across a question that I really just don't have the answer for. Is that something I should just say, hey, listen, I know that everyone in the world wants it, or something like that? Or if I don't know a question, is it okay to say that?
Absolutely. I mean, I'd rather have you say that than try to come up with an answer, because you can tell when you know the answer versus when you're trying to make something up. And if you don't know, say I'll get back to you with the information. I mean, I think it's that clean. Being on TV, I was on Shark Tank with Good Morning America and Shark Tank season finale, and there's always one thing that I like to always say, like, when you're on TV, this is a little bit different, but you should always think of it that way. You get one chance, and when you're on TV, it's whatever you say is forever, right? It's live TV. That's it. You can't take it back. You can't try to correct it. That's it. What you say is real. So I try to get as prepared as possible whenever I'm pitching. And you may not have all the answers to your questions, but the more you can answer, and if there really is a buyer listening and they want to know more about it, these are the questions they're going to ask you about packaging. They're going to ask you where you're selling it. They're going to ask you what the wholesale cost is to them, what you're typically selling it at map pricing on retail. How can you ship it? What's your, did you have LTL capabilities? Who's filling the products? How much can you deliver? How much inventory do you have? All the real questions that these guys want to know. They don't want to hear the whole story. They don't want to hear your life story. They don't want to know about the history of it. They'll talk to you about that later. They want to know, how can they make money, right? Not only you, but how can they make money? And that's what they're in business for, to make money.
No doubt about it. I mean, if they see a good product, what's great about these types of panels and these types of shows is, in reality, you never know who's going to be sitting on that stage. And a lot of times we don't name the exact people that are going to be on stage. We will say, hey, it's a Shark Tank pitch panel, it's a licensing pitch panel, or something like that. But we have times where we switch out somebody or we grab somebody at the last minute. So be prepared, because you just never know who's going to be up on that stage, right? Because I mean, we've had some
Absolutely.
pretty
And
big
everybody's connected in this business, right? It's a large network. So if it's not something that may interest that individual, they may know somebody who does. I can't tell how many people I refer to and hook them up with Good Morning America or the Today Show. You just don't know if your product is good for a certain segment, and it may not be good for something that I'm looking at, but it may be good for somebody that I know in my network. I'm happy to always connect them and send the information off. And I'm telling you, it works. It's the power of networking is incredible. And I think, the thing the UI has that we bring so heavy to the table is we are connected. We're connected to QVC, HSN, All-Star Products, all the Shark Tank folks, Good Morning America, Fox, Today Show, NBC, Today Show, this old home. I mean, all these different networks that have uses for a big array of different products. Walmart, right? Lowe's, Ace Hardware. You just don't know, right? And all of these people are connected. So you really just need to be ready and be prepared, because you don't know who's listening or watching and who can connect you.
Yep. Yeah, no doubt about it. There really is. And what's great about the whole Inventor Spotlight area, and I love the golf industry itself. It's just a lot of fun. It's a lifestyle. There's so many different products that come out each year. So it's very hard to really know which product is going to be that big hit. So it's so much fun to see those new products every year. I mean, I've been at the PGA Show for the last 5 years, and I'm always astounded by the types of products that are coming out. So it is really cool. We get into some other questions in.
I was going to say too, then not just the pitch though. Then what happens after the pitch, right? You still got to manufacture it. You still got to market it. You got to have sell sheets. You got to know how to get into retail. You got to know how to sell it online. So there's a number of different areas that I find, some of these inventors look at, like getting a patent and all these things early on, but you have to look at the entire process. If you're looking to launch, you have to think about every step along the way. It's another area of great networking that we have, right? We have folks that in our network that do patents, that do trademarks, that do licensing, that can help manufacture it. I mean, obviously, you and I have the world covered when it comes to manufacturing, but then you've got, marketing and sell sheets and videos and really getting into the nitty gritty, how to fulfill it. What platform should I use to take orders, website configuration? So there's all of that. There's a whole process involved in that. And this is what becomes a lot of fun. So it's pitching like a pro is one step. And then right after is you have to deliver on all the things that you're pitching. So you need to be ready for the entire spectrum.
Yeah, no doubt. And if any of you guys want me to put you on camera, if you have a question to ask, whatever, let me know. Just throw it into the chat room. We did this to kind of, make this quick for you guys. We know you're all busy, and during the day like this, it's super important to get in and out of this webinar. We want to just give you some information. Chris, I had somebody ask a question about what if they didn't have an actual, let me see where that is. That was a great question. Non-retail product, such as like a consumer-based app, like a golf app or something like that. Is that something they should pitch? And any advice for that? Because I mean, the apps for golf right now are huge. They're really taking off.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, you just don't know who's. I get people asking me a lot about software applications and apps. I obviously don't do those, but I know people who do them, and and there's a lot of high-level investors that are interested in that. So yeah, absolutely. I think that's also something you see a lot on Shark Tank, are people pitching some of those applications, for the investors. But I think if you have a good product, and again, it's something worth pursuing, then absolutely.
Good. Yeah, that's good. We had a question about displaying your product to the panel. Usually, and this is the first time we're having a stage at the PGA Show, there's a table right in front of the judges where you'll be able to put your products, your marketing material, and that information up on that table. If there isn't a table, when we get there in the morning, the first day, we'll go get one, because you obviously need to be able to do that. If you guys are nervous about anything, obviously I just threw my email in there. email me any questions before the show. It's made to have fun, guys. These pitches, we want you to have fun and enjoy yourself. It's important. It's business. But if you're not ready or you just have a prototype, I answer those questions. Go ahead and pitch. You're going to be pitching to people that can give you answers to questions and have fun. And this isn't life or death. We know it's an emotional product and you want to move forward. You might want to get some interest. But also, it's great to practice, right, Chris? I mean, practicing, how many times did you practice your pitch for Shark Tank? I mean, come on.
Oh, boy, it was a lot. And we did it on live cameras and played it back and looked at it. And the pitch changed often. I'll tell you a funny story. When I was an executive at Ford Motor Company, I was director of engineering. We were in Brazil at a Ford meeting. And at the time, we had this new development of this elastomeric seal for a strut program for the suspension of the Ford Taurus. And I'll never forget it. There was three of us. I was director of engineering, there was director of sales, and then the president of our division. They wanted us to do a presentation, but it was on demand. It was on the spot. It wasn't like it was planned. And there was probably 25 people in this business unit that wanted to see it because we were selling it across the board, not just through Ford, but like in other applications. And literally, I'm not kidding when I say this, we went to the men's room and said, okay, what do we do next? Okay, I knew the insides and outs of the application and all the engineering. Obviously, sales guys know how to talk. The president of the company knows how to present. We literally spent 15 minutes in the bathroom. I had brochures, we had some samples, and we put together a presentation in the men's room and presented it and got an order, $1 million order. It was just, we always, 20 years later, 25 years later, we still talk about it because you just need to know. When you know what you're talking about, that's the key. It really is simple.
Yeah, I agree. And people know when you're having fun. I mean, usually when you know what you're talking about, you have a good product and you're having fun, then people assume, hey, this guy's relaxed. He's having fun. He knows what he's talking about. She, whatever it is. And you want to have fun. This is something. These shows are, I want to say, stressful enough. Going there, setting up your booth, doing all those things. But coming in and pitching your product, you should know it down pat. You should be having fun pitching it because it's a golf product. You should be having fun with it, and we want to stress that to have fun during the pitch. Yeah. And here's the other thing, Chris. What if they say something to one of the, I'm pitching and they say something that, they don't like something I said. You can't be emotional about it, right? I mean, you must have been arguing with Mr. Wonderful, right?
I argue with everybody when I don't agree with them, but no, if it's constructive criticism and they're trying to help you, take it that way. I mean, I'll give you another good example. This is 2 or 3 years ago at the hardware show. Someone was pitching a pretty cool product to Home Depot. So you would think anything to do with Home Depot, you'd have their colors. Instead, they brought Lowe's buckets and Lowe's colors and was pitching to Home Depot. And I recall at the time, Warren made a comment, hey, just some constructive criticism in the future. If you're going to pitch to Home Depot, you should use their colors. And the person got really defensive about, well, Lowe's is also looking at this. And the comment was, nobody cares. You're pitching to the executives and the buyers, the senior vice president of merchandising of Home Depot. At least respect who you're pitching, who your audience is to, and have the colors for them. And I'll tell you, by them looking defensive, it went off rail. It was really good advice. It was really good constructive. So never take it personal. Always take it with a grain of salt. And if you can benefit from it, then use it.
Yeah, I agree. And here's a little piece of advice, guys. Try not to use absolutes in your pitch, meaning that it's never always, it's never, it's never everyone. Things in that sense that are absolutes, then you're leaving a door open for somebody to question it because there's no possible way you can prove that everyone wants your product, that it's always this, it's always that. So try to use specific information, use your market, use a large market, use those kind of words, but try to stay away from absolutes in your pitch. It'll really, really help with the flow because you're not leaving something open to conjecture or questions. If
I saw a question about like having a video or something. Yeah, absolutely. If you think that's going to help, just remember you have limited time. So make sure it's part of your physical presentation and if you want to have a video, that's absolutely fine. Just keep it to the time frame that you're allowed.
Yeah. And here's a good question that just came in. Is it more of a marketing pitch or investor pitch? That's kind of up to you. If you wanted to say, hi, I'm Jim Jones. This is my product. I'm looking for investment. Or, hi, I'm Jim Jones. I'm looking for some feedback on my marketing. It's 100% up to you. It's always good to let them know ahead of time what you're looking for, or what you need. These are judges. They don't know your product. They might not never have seen you. They might not have talked to you. So always try to get out of that gray area of the judges saying, oh man, this is an awesome product. I wonder what he needs. So that's a great question.
Goes back to knowing your audience, right? So if you're talking to a buyer, you're not going to have it skewed towards investment. You're going to have it towards marketing and towards wanting him to buy your product, right? As opposed to having some investor, you're going to have it a little bit different. Maybe you're offering some percentage if he's willing to invest in your company, but have all those numbers prepared and know your audience.
Yeah, great idea. So we have another question, these are great questions, guys. I didn't know we were going to have all these. This is awesome. How much time do they have for prep the pitch areas? So if you need to prep any areas, you may want to get there a little bit early in between pitches and things like that. Get ready. Talk to the AV guy. Have everything ready. When you walk up to that, when we walk up to that, your time will start.
On the clock.
Yeah, and
right,
let me tell you something.
15 minutes prior, be ready.
Chris is the meister of the clock, man. He's gonna keep you on time. So however you could sneak in some time to get ready, talk to the AV guy, come see us. We'll try to help out. We want you to be successful with your pitch, but because we have so many people pitching, we have to keep it on time. So that's
otherwise it runs over, and then you cut people off on the back end, which you wouldn't want that to happen to you.
Yeah.
So if we have 10 people pitching, we want all 10 people to get that opportunity. And the schedules are tight because there's so many panels and presentations throughout the entire show that we have to keep it on track.
Yeah, 100%. And we have a Josh. Josh, I'm going to let you talk. Do you have a question? You had your hand raised. I don't know if you'll be able to say anything. Go ahead, Josh.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So you spoke a lot about what to do. You mentioned the one item, what not to do, is tell a story. Can you focus on more of what not to do, please?
Yeah, I can. And Chris
if you follow on what to do, you don't have to worry about what not to do because you won't have any time. But use your time precisely. So you're going to get 2 minutes. Use it. I mean, keep it. Like I said, don't make it boring. Don't make it just stagnant. Don't have not having examples or having product available. Don't be up there just talking. You want to present your product and the solutions it's going to solve, or what the consumer who's going to buy it benefits from it.
Yes. Yeah. So Josh, that is perfect advice. What not to do is don't exaggerate. Don't use absolutes. Don't say Target wants my product, and all you received was an email from them, so try not to exaggerate anything. We're all inventors. We all, talk about our product and it gets bigger, just like a fish story, but we want to make sure that when we talk about our idea, our product to these panelists, these are guys and girls and women and people that have been in the industry. They know instantly if we're exaggerating our idea or not. Don't tell a story about how your grandmother was cooking pasta and you came up with the idea 20 years ago. You don't want to go off on a long story about that. Now, if one of the judges asks you, hey, how did I come up with this? You could say, hey, that's a long story. I'd love to talk with you after the pitch. Now you're opening up and you're saying, hey, I'm going to get to talk to this person after.
Control the narrative, right?
Yeah,
Control the narrative.
Yeah.
So someone asked about, well, they know the panelists.
Go ahead, Josh.
How many people are on the panel?
There's usually 4 to 5. I had answered, somebody had asked that question. Usually 4 to 5 panelists, again, because we try to keep that down too, because when they're asking questions, that takes up time. So we think about you guys as doing pitches, but we also don't want too many panelists or too many pros on the stage because that'll take up time also. So it's usually about 4 to 5. But yeah, just be clean, concise, practice. Don't go in there thinking, I don't even have to practice. So, Josh, good question of what not to do. As Chris said, stick with what you know real quick and practice, and I think you'll be good.
There's a question about, will they know the panelists before pitching? And the answer is yes. If you go to, you'll see the schedule. I think you'll get an email after this presentation, which will take you to the website which will show you everybody's background and who they are.
Yeah. Oh, Eileen,
And if somebody
you
says something
raised
about a product is patented, they have USGA approval. Absolutely. That should be the first thing you lead in with.
Yep. Yeah. It's super important. Have Eileen raise their hand. I'm going to open up your mic. And this software works pretty good, Chris. This is the first time we're using it.
Mm-hmm. Like
Yeah.
it.
I like the whole hand raise thing. Go ahead, Eileen. You there?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes.
Great. Well, thanks guys, by the way, for doing this today. Very helpful so far, and really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I represent Exonic Golf, and we're really, really excited about this year's event. So I'll just quickly, there are 3 awards that are going to be presented at the event. I believe it's marketing, innovation, and best in show. Do you have the general criteria that will be used to judge those 3 specific awards?
Yeah, you kind of just said it. What we usually do is we'll pull some of the panelists together. There will be walking around and they'll fill out some awards. Mostly, just like you said, marketing. We want to award somebody who really spends some time, puts their booth together. It looks awesome. They're also going to look at your packaging and how your retail packaging looks, how you present it. So that'll be on the marketing side. It's not very super specific. It's more of a feel type thing of like, wow, did you see that packaging over at booth, whatever? And
Right.
go look at it. So marketing is good. The others is the best in show. That's just something that just blows us away. It's not only electronics and plastic. It's just something that, man, this thing is awesome. They got 3 years of research into this thing. It does what it says it does, and it just blows us away. That will be the pinnacle award. And the most innovative is just something. It doesn't have to be selling. It does. Most innovative is just something that somebody came up with, and we're just like, wow, that really is solving a specific problem. It does what it says. And so yeah, the criteria is somewhat a gray area, but it kind of gets there, and we'll explain it to you more as we walk around to the booths if you have some questions. But yeah,
And you'll have a committee there, so it won't be one person's view. It'll be multiple people that have a list of items that they think, and then they match up to see if they all agree.
And you may not know the people when they're coming around looking. Yeah, you may not know that they're a judge. So I just wanted to let you guys know that.
Oh, okay, that's helpful. Thanks.
Yeah.
One quick question. You mentioned Chris from the PGA has office hours. I'm just wondering what that's used for, what that's intended for.
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
My guess is to answer some questions and to help. We have a hard enough time keeping a track of the inventor side. So, but yeah, the PGA does a great job. They're super good. They're really on top of things. My guess is just to kind of help out and answer questions, kind of how we are.
Right. Okay, great.
The talk is it's going to be packed with buyers, and really the shows are back.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
National Hardware Show will have over 100,000 people this year. They're talking about over 20,000 at the PGA, and all the buyers will be there. So should be an exciting time.
And I do want to mention that we have some social media and influencers, some TikTok people that have millions of views. They're going to talk about, if you have some questions. I'm really bad on social media. Chris is great with it, but we're going to bring some people on that, like Lauren Lockwood with the Lion Latch, selling tens of thousands of units at night. She wakes up in the morning and has 6,000-7,000 orders just through like TikTok, right, Chris? I mean, this is
these guys know how to use TikTok and social media channels, and it's not them saying they know how to use it. They have the data to back it up. Some of these people have 40 million followers, and it literally they haven't spent a penny on marketing other than social media, and they're selling thousands of units.
It's pretty cool. So yeah, so all good stuff. I at least have someone else. Eileen, I'm gonna lock your mic up if it's okay.
Great.
Thank you so much. And then I'm gonna bring on Christopher. Allowed to talk. See little things spinning around, opening up his mic, and hopefully it works. Christopher, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Go ahead,
hear
man.
me?
I can.
Yeah, it's Chris Grotadoria from the PGA Show. I just wanted to jump in and say hello, and looking forward to the show and kind of give everybody a quick little update on what's going on there, and just to quickly answer the question on Chris Hart. I believe she was talking about Chris Hart from the PGA of America. So he's going to be getting involved, kind of just explaining more or less his opportunities that are available in the growth and ventures department, and what they can offer there. Anything you want to add to that, Carmine?
Yeah, that's great. See that we had a PGA spy in here. We didn't even know. We would have made it much more professional in here. No, you're right. Chris and his team are going to be on stage also. I mean, these guys are a wealth of information. They're going to be sitting on a few of the panels. So yeah, Chris, I'm glad you jumped in and said that, because yeah, those guys, man, talk about business guys. It's awesome that we have them.
Yeah. So yeah, he'll be there in attendance, like you said, and just give you guys a quick little update on the show itself. It's going great. Just to kind of give you an update, in 2020 we were able to get the show in before the pandemic hit. 21 was the year that we had to cancel, and then 22 we did come back. Pretty good, substantial show considering with the Omicron break that did take place. Kind of give you guys an understanding. We usually average 800 to 900 companies on the show floor, and we're somewhere in that 16 to 18,000 of attendance and buyers and media that attend the show. And in 22, we had close to about 560 vendors with about 10,000 buyers attending the event. All numbers indicating we are getting stronger and stronger each day. I think we're just about approaching 800 vendors on the show floor, and we basically doubled the size of the show floor where we were in 22. And I was told today that attendance is back in the neighborhood, creeping back towards about 15,000 plus. So, and that's still with a couple weeks as well as on-site registration. So we are creeping back towards 2020 numbers and hoping to exceed that. If not, we are heading in that right direction, as we get closer. So people excited, chomping at the bit to get back to the show. And it's identified as the show that kicks off the golf industry. And all the big brands and players are back, which is going to be great. And a lot of media, as the guys had mentioned before, are going to be attending as well. So just wanted to kind of just give you guys an update on that, and we're excited about the event.
Holy smokes, that's awesome. All right.
Sounds really good.
Now, Chris, we got to look for his name next time because he's hijacking our show.
Yeah. All good information. That's what we needed to hear.
I love it, man. No, that's great. That's good. And he'll be on, if you missed, he'll be probably on under a different name on Tuesday. We'll be doing this again. It lets you guys know we did send out two webinars, different times, different days. It's going to be the same thing. We'll probably talk about the same stuff, so you don't have to attend that. I will let you guys know after this webinar, when we close out, you're going to get an email thanking you for attending, but it's also going to have a link, and I'll go through that before we sign off. It's going to have a link to register for the pitch panels. So you guys are going to get a head start on the people that are going to be joining in on Tuesday. So I'll be sending that. The system will send that email out a few minutes after we end the webinar. So you guys will be getting that link. But I'll walk through that after we're done with the questions and we're ready to kind of close up. Let's see if we have any other questions coming in. So we just had somebody say they're going to asking the question, when can they sign up for the pitches? As I said, after the webinar, you'll get an email with a link to sign up for the pitch panel. I'll walk you through that before we close up. I'm going to turn off. Chris, you good? I'm going to turn off your mic. You all right?
Yeah, just one quick thing. Can you do me a favor and in that email put the schedule of events, the itinerary for the stage, so everybody's aware of that as well?
All right, we'll do that. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'll walk through that now real quick. And now, since it's hard on mine, if you guys have any questions while I'm doing this, go ahead and just throw them in there. I am going to share my screen. And here it is. Let me know if you guys can see that for this computer screen. All right. So can you guys see that, my screen there?
I can see it.
Okay, good. Well, that's all that matters. So this is what you'll get in email. You'll click on the link, you'll get to this. This is not the PGA show email. This is kind of the UIA stuff. It kind of mimics what we're doing. And I just want you guys to know that. And then what you'll want to do is it'll talk about the agenda that Chris just mentioned. You just click on agenda. It will show you the agenda for each day. We will be changing some of the agenda little bits, but the actual pitch panels probably won't change. Putting something like this together, you always get somebody who's sick or changing a time or something like that. We should be fine with it. Day 1, day 2, we have the different panels. You'll see pitch to the pros. So you'll see the pitch panels. They'll be listed. And as we update that information, you'll get that. You can also print the agenda out. You can save things that you just want to see. And then we have day 3, where we kind of end at noon. We'll see if we have another pitch panel planned for day 3. Most likely we will be using that. If you want to sign up for one of the pitch panels, go to register right here, and you'll see the different days and times of the pitch panels. Just choose one that you want. You're going to get another chance to choose. Click buy ticket. It doesn't really cost anything. It's just how it is. You're going to list them all and make sure that you choose the right one. Please only sign up for one panel. It's something in the system. I'm trying to get that to where it doesn't show all of them, but please only sign up for one panel. If there is extra openings and you want to pitch again, come and see us at the booth and we'll try to fit you into a different panel. But please sign up for one panel. If you chose, hit continue, fill out the form, and hit continue, and you'll be signed up for that panel. You'll get an email telling you your time and date and panel, and we will get that information. So it's pretty self-explanatory in that sense. This is the first time we're using this software, so if you do run into a glitch, just send me a question, send me an email, and I'll make sure we get you sorted out. After 10 people sign up for these panels, this ticket will go away, so it won't be seen again. So each one allows up to 10 people. If we have to add more in, we will. So let me just see if we have any questions that are coming in. And I will stop sharing my screen. Cancel that. And so that's pretty much the system that we have set up for allowing you guys to register. As I said, after this webinar ends, you will get an email that will come out to you within 2 to 5 minutes. And within that email, you can click on the link to see everything. Okay. Somebody has a question. I do have a question. Robin, you have a question? You want to raise your hand or ask your question on the screen? It's up to you. Robin, okay, I'm gonna unmute your mic and allow you to talk. Go ahead, Robin. Just give me 1 second. Let's turn your mic on. Okay, you should be open. Go ahead, Robin.
Good morning. How are you today?
Doing good.
Good. 2 quick questions. One, is there an AV contact to make sure that we have the proper file formats for being on stage?
Send that question. I'll find out on that question. I know
Okay.
we have Christopher on here, but that's a AV question. I'm not 100% sure, but I think any standard formats will work. But if you have something odd, send me an email. I had put my email in there, and I'm making a note to check on that. These AV guys are usually pretty good. They saved the day, I got to tell you. So we'll find out. But I would think that most formats will be accepted. We'll find out.
Okay, thank you. And then also, if you could share a little bit about UIA and kind of what it has meant for you to be a member.
Yeah, so the United Inventors Association has been around for over 30 years. For over 30 years, we are the largest nonprofit inventor organization with sole purpose is to help educate and connect inventors in the right sequence of inventing, connecting them with the right industry professionals that can help them move things forward. We are a nonprofit. Right now, our membership is free. We're going to go to some other levels where there will be a small cost for membership because we're supplying so much more information, but there is a free membership at the UIA. I am currently the president of the United Inventors Association. We have close to 100,000 members. Mostly, I would say 40,000 or more are active members. We, people that have invented, they joined and they, have their invention, so they don't need us anymore. But we do have active between 40 and 50,000 members. It's pretty crazy, a lot of fun. Chris Guerrero here is the vice president of the UIA. So you have the people that run the UIA on with you. It's been awesome. I've been part of the UIA for several years. Just took over as president a few years ago. Chris came on to help out because he saw that I was just a mess. We just needed as much help as possible. I'm unorganized. He is super organized, which is great. And we just have a lot of fun helping inventors. It's great. It really is. Chris has taken over the event side and really blown it up. So, Chris, if you want to jump in and just tell a little bit.
I mean, just look at our advisory board. We have Joy Mangano from the movie Joy, Bob Secastas, who basically started QVC. We have QVC folks. We have All Star Products. We have even Alan Emery, who actually invented the yellow sticky notepad. So we have and a lot of Shark Tank people. Judy Edwards from Squatty Potty, Larry Lockwood, Mike Watts. We just have a good group of people who want to help out the inventor community. And right now, it's no cost. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to pay for services. We offer as much education as possible. We do a lot of UIA TV podcasts, Made in America podcasts. We have events on how to pitch. We talk about patents. So we have this whole series that we educate the community. And then we're now really having on all the big shows in the US, bringing it on stage with all of our network. And it's been a lot of fun. We have access to Steals and Deals with Good Morning America, the products on Today's Show, access to Fox. So we have really just this incredible, strong network of people that always want to help. And it's been a lot of fun for me. I come out of corporate America. I've had my own business now. And it's going on 10 years. But this is a whole nother level. It's just an absolute joy to give back to the community and help people make the right decisions.
Yeah. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for everything. Robin, is there anything else?
That's it. Thank you for the information.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for asking about the UIA. I will let you guys know that after you exit this webinar, you will be redirected to the UIA. If you're not a UIA member, please join up. It's free. And it really helps us to have those numbers when we go to the USPTO, when we go to Congress, when we go to our senators and things like that, to give them those numbers, say, hey, we have these inventors. They're all looking for help, things in that sense. So please join the UIA if you're not a member. It would really help us out greatly because we can use your feedback. We can use your help. Let's see if there's any other questions that have come in. I don't know who to trust. One that's not going to steal your idea. So we get this question a lot. Noel is awesome question. Here's the thing that I always say, and I don't want to get this into it. Intellectual property is a huge part of any inventor. It's always a worry. It's always there. But don't let fear stop you from moving your idea forward. Work with people that you believe can help you. Try to protect yourself through education and knowledge. I'm not even going to say trust us, because right now you want to use education and knowledge to make you feel better, or you as an inventor. So use non-disclosure agreements, use a provisional patent if you would like one. Talk to people, do a search.
Get references.
You get references. Just become a member of the UIA. We will put you in touch with people. Then you could do a search. That's what's great about Google. Type my name in. Type Chris's name in. If anyone is doing anything wrong, it's going to come up. I mean, believe it or not, I've been in this business for 25 years. There's people out there that don't like me. It's okay because I didn't believe in the way they're doing things or whatever it was. But if there's people out there stealing ideas, you're going to know about it. It doesn't happen as often as you think. It does happen sometimes, but don't let fear slow you down. Talk to people that know, that have been in the business, and don't trust anyone. Just do the right thing, do the work, do the education, and you'll be fine. It really will. But if you need some help in anything with trusted advisors, with people that we have worked with over the years, you just get in touch with one of us and we'll help you. That's what we're here for. So hopefully that helps, Robin. I mean, not Robin, Noel. I got another somebody that raising their hand. Somebody else have a question? Let me see here. Let me clear that. If you have a question, go ahead and let me see if I can put that. If you have a question, throw it in the question. How many pitches will be made? So there, I think we have 5 pitch panels. 100% 4 of them. On the last day, it usually slows down. So we schedule a pitch panel for that day if we need it, if there's overflow. So we have 4 panels that will fill up, and if we need to, we might have to add another one. We won't know until we get to that point. I'm not sure about the demo day. That's something that Chris, who's on here, may be able to answer. The demo day is awesome, by the way, but I don't know that answer about the demo day. Like I said, it's something that we just kind of concentrate on the inventor side, the inventor spotlight, but you might want to reach out to your contact and ask that question. All right. We good, everyone? Any other questions, guys? We're coming up on the end of the hour, and I think we have given out some good information, and we got some great questions, Chris.
I thought it was great. I think this is this is what we do, right? We try to help everybody get on track and to benefit and utilize their time, which is obviously critical when you're doing pitch panels and sitting in front of a buyer. One last thing I'll say, like for example, when you're at Walmart, if you're lucky enough to get in front of a buyer at Bentonville, you get 30 minutes. So you may have a lot of products, but you want to utilize that 30 minutes as best you can, because these guys are doing this all day long, all week long. They want to hear, when they get to the meat of it, they want to give you feedback and see what you can do, and then hopefully get some type of opportunity to ship it into the stores. So it's really, really important to keep on track, be precise, good information that somebody watching and listening and being on a judging panel can make some quick decisions and see the benefit as you do.
Yeah, I totally agree, 100%. So we are going to close up the webinar. Remember, you guys are going to get an email with the link to sign up for the panels. Go ahead and sign up for them. Please just join one. We'll have to remove you from one if we see you joining up with 2. You don't want us to remove you from the wrong one. Plus, the link that you get is going to be specific for you. So don't share with anybody, or they will, if somebody clicks on that and sets up a panel, they'll remove you or change your time. So these links are auto-generated for each person that has joined. If there's a question that you have, I threw my email in there. I'm going to throw it in again. Come on out to me. If I can't answer the question, I'll send it over to Chris here. And we will be able to answer whatever questions you have. If we don't know, we'll get you the information. The other is make sure, sign up for the panels, be prepared. And if you do have a question or something like that, we are going to have another webinar on, I think, Tuesday. If you want to just jump in and ask a question, you don't have to be on all the time, but I will also have this recording available if somebody wants it. It'll be pretty boring to listen to the recording, but if there is something that you might have missed and you want, just send an email and we'll send over the recording. So, all right, Chris, we good, man?
I think we're great. This was terrific. So appreciate you putting this together, Carmine.
Oh, no problem, man. Thanks for jumping on. Thank you for all you guys that jumped on. I could see that you're serious. You want to do good at the show. You want to get the most out of it. I thank Chris from the PGA for jumping on and giving us that information. And we will see you guys, if not on the next webinar, but believe me, come and talk to us at the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Take care, everybody.